Hello, welcome to my nice setup for the next couple of videos because I am dog sitting as I sometimes do for my parents, and now we get this nice beautiful natural lighting here that I do not get in my usual spot at my apartment. So gonna be some nice lighting for the next couple of videos. Today I wanted to talk about all of the books that I currently have downloaded from Kindle Unlimited on my Kindle. So basically I guess my Kindle Unlimited TBR right now. I recently just downloaded quite a few new ones, and I want to go ahead and show you guys what I have up on deck. And also I'm curious to go back down through, because here's the thing. A lot of the times once it gets past this initial page on my Kindle, I don't really know what else is on there. If it's down to the next screens, I kind of forget what I download and what I don't. And I very rarely ever hit the limit where it's like, you have too many books, you need to return one. I really rarely ever hit that because you can have 20 checked out at once. So a lot of them just get buried because I kind of just exchange out the same few over and over again at the top. So anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. So first up on my Kindle, which is the one that I'm currently reading, is Hidden Scars by Andy Jackson. So I have been wanting to read this book for forever, and I kept on forgetting about it. I put it on so many TBRs, and then I think because I never had it downloaded on my Kindle, I always forgot that this was a high priority read for me, one that I really wanted to check out and prioritize. So finally, I got it downloaded, and I did actually start it last night, and I'm loving it. But this one is an hockey romance, and they're actually roommates too. I'm only 4% in because, like I said, I literally just started it last night. But that is what I'm currently reading and is right at the top of my Kindle Unlimited TBR. Next up, I have 1111 by Macaulay Smelter. So this one I'm actually going to be buddy reading with one of my friends. We buddy read a book together almost every single month, and this month was my month to pick. So I optioned up a few, and then she ended up picking 1111 out of that mix, which I'm really excited about because this is Macaulay Smelter's newest release. Y'all know how much I love Macaulay Smelter's books, and this one is a reverse age gap one. And so I think she has a one night stand with him, Reed, our hero. I haven't started it yet. I think we're meeting later this week to chat about it, so I do need to get started on it. But we read it in small chunks, so I can make it up pretty fast. But I think she has a one night stand with Reed, and then time goes by, and then she ends up on a date with his dad, and then sees him again, and Reed's like, what are you doing with my dad? I want you with me. Say less. I love a good age gap, and I'm excited for her to be older and for him to be younger and see how this goes. And also, I think Reed wears glasses, and that's hot, and I feel like not many heroes wear glasses. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be a good one, and I love this cover. I think this cover is super cool. For it being a discreet cover, which normally you guys know I'm not the biggest fans of, this one's great. Next, for another new one that I really want to read, I have God of Malice by Rena Kent downloaded. So this one is the first book, and I don't know what this series is called, the God series or something. So I actually really wanted to read God of Fury, and I still do. That's the newest release in this series. However, then of course I got comments of being you have to read them in order, which I don't think you do. I'm sure the story is richer. I don't think though I have to, because I have had friends who just read God of Fury and they were perfectly fine. But here's the thing. I do appreciate reading series in order, and I typically do that. And I do want to read God of Malice. I do want to read this series. I'm just mostly intrigued by God of Fury. So I'm fine, I'll download God of Malice and get it going. And this one is a stalker romance, which I love. I really love Rena Kent's books. I'm very, very behind on her backlist, but I have loved the books that I've read from her. And especially her brand of hero is just a special kind of psycho. And I think this guy is no different. So I am really excited about this one. So I wanted to have it downloaded because I don't want to kind of let it slip through the cracks again and forget when I'm reading other books. Next up, the next other one that I recently downloaded is Hamartia by Scarlett Drake. So this one is a Rockstar K-pop star romance, romance. And I have heard nothing but amazing things about this one. I've actually heard that the audiobook of this one is great. Y'all know I don't really love new books to listen to on audio. I really love rereading old favorites on audio because for me, I just struggle processing information when I can only hear it and paying attention and keeping my focus on it. So for rereads, it's great because if I zone out for a little bit, I already know the story. But so I'm sure the audiobook is great. However, I did download this on KU. I think this cover is absolutely sickening. I think this one's just gonna be so good. And also it's the perfect time for me to be reading a Rockstar romance right now. So I'm really excited to give this one a go. And yeah, I'm staring at the cover right now and I just can't go over it. I think this cover is so fucking good. Next, I honestly can return this one. I have my own book checked out right now on Kindle Unlimited because I made an Instagram graphic like a week or two ago that was like popular highlights from Take You Down to like put on Instagram to try to like be better about posting about it, because I don't do very good about like posting about it and trying to like gather new readers. I'm really bad at marketing it. So I had it downloaded so that way I could look through, because you can like see what the popular highlights are when you download a book. So I have it downloaded right now, but I'm not reading my own book, so it's on there, but not reading it. Okay, next up I have Treading Water. I don't know how you pronounce this. B-S or B subjacan? I don't know. This one, I recently saw it, I think on Fit Teacher. Rachel, she posted about it in a reel maybe or something, and it's a coach athlete novella, which say less. That is an auto interest trope for me. You say coach athlete, I say give it to me. And so honestly, I can't even remember the sport. I assume if it's treading water, maybe is it swimming? I don't know, but it's also a novella. I think it's like around 170 pages, so like a longer novella, but I'm really looking forward to this one, especially because I just finished Head in the Game by Rebecca Rath yesterday, and guys, let me tell you, I loved the absolute shit out of that book. I cannot wait to talk about it. I think it honestly, I know it's only February, but it could very well make it on my top 10 of the year. It was so good, and yeah, now I just always and forever want more coach athlete. I mean, ever since Off Balance. Nothing's gonna beat Off Balance, but as soon as I heard about this, I was like, well, I gotta give it a go. Next up, I have Repossess My Heart by Callie. Is it Moss? I can't see because the little like percentage bar is blocking it. So this one I actually started. I'm 25% of the way through. I did just put it down while I was reading some other books, but I do plan to go back and finish it because I'm intrigued by it. So it's not like a fantasy. Would it be like a dystopian romance? Because basically our heroine in this one, she has a borrowed heart. She has like a mechanical heart or something, because she was going to like die, and her mother took on the debt in order to get her daughter this new heart. And it's kind of like in a world where robots and stuff are kind of like among people, but then her mother ends up dying, so then the debt is like never repaid, and her mom kind of like hid her away from the debt collectors, and now as a grown-up she's kind of just doing what she needs to in order to survive. And then one of the debt collectors, who's like he has some like robotic stuff to him. I honestly don't really even know how to explain it, but he comes to basically collect her heart, and he's supposed to like rip her heart out of her chest because she didn't pay. And it's kind of making like commentary, I think, on like healthcare and like the like uppers and lowers in society, and like who deserves what, and like how we view that, and how that's like held over people, and then like the debt that people will go into trying to like get these things. I don't know. I'm definitely intrigued by it. But yeah, what was I reading? I was reading something else, and then I think like Crescent City came out, and I kind of dropped everything for that. So I still have this. I'm still in the middle of it. I do plan on finishing it. But yeah, that's that book. Next, I downloaded For the Fans by Nyla K. And here's the thing. This was not one that I originally had, like, I knew obviously so many people loved it. It was on, like, I've obviously heard about it. However, it was not one that, like, I really had on my radar until once again, I made my Your Favorite Dark, Forbidden, and Taboo romance video from a couple of weeks ago, and this was on there. And I said in that video, I'm like, if I need to read this, you guys need to convince me. And then, of course, I had so many people in the comments being like, you need to read For the Fans. I think you're going to love it. So I did download it. I haven't gotten around to it yet, but I'm like, you know what? I'll have it downloaded so that way it's just like on there. So this is a stepbrother romance. And I think something happens with like money, and they're out of money. So then they both decide to start making like OnlyFans type content together, and it ends up being their romance. We will see. I'm sure I'll get to it at some point. It is a thick boy. Anyways, I have that downloaded. Next up, I have Good Guys Don't Lie by Macaulay Smeltzer. So this one is the fourth book in the Boys series. So we've already met the hero in this one. I don't think we've met the heroine. So I think it's a tutoring type situation that happens in this one. They're all college romances, and I actually think maybe our hero plays hockey. Does he, if I'm remembering correctly? But I just really love this series. They're very just like fun, wholesome, but like obviously there's still spice to them kind of romances. And I've really enjoyed the first 3 in this series, and it's a series like I'm trying to finish up some series that I've started this year, so I downloaded it. And I think whenever I'm kind of in the mood for that like a little lighter hearted college moment, I'm going to read this one. And honestly, I haven't really been in a very like dark romance mood lately. I don't know why. Like pretty much this entire year so far, which granted is a month, but I just haven't been in the mood for like really dark romances. So the idea of just having like this kind of like a little lighter contemporary college fun time sounds pretty good to me right now. Next up, I have The Love of My Next Life by Britt Benson. So this one I had on my January TBR, and I had downloaded it. So it's a best friend's brother, and I think like really angsty, toxic moment. And once again, then Cheyenne was talking about this in another one of her recent videos. Then I was like, oh shoot, that like does like even more so makes me want to read it. But I kind of forgot that I had it downloaded because again, it's on the second page already. And I swear once I get to the second page, I kind of forgot that I have them, but I do want to read The Love of My Next Life. So I have this one downloaded as well, and I will get around to it at some point. Next up, I have Insatiable Hunger by Ashley James. So again, I'm actually 4% into this one. I did start it and I didn't like put it down because I wasn't liking it. Again, I think I got distracted by other books and I can't remember what I got distracted by. And then it made it down to the second page and then I kind of forgot about it, but I need to read this or like finish this one because it is a stepfather, stepson romance. I love a good forbidden romance. And so this one actually, I think they hook up before, because it starts out, I think they hook up before they know that he's his new stepfather. And then like years later, it's his stepfather. I don't really feel like I need to say more, but I do have this one downloaded and I will finish it. Then I have To Be Alone With You by Jody Slaughter. So this one is a novella that again, I think was that on my January TBR? It was on a recent TBR of mine. So this one, her heroine, I think it's an age gap, I think. And I think it's maybe like a mom's friend because I think she confesses her love for our hero. And then they like go years without seeing each other. And then our heroine needs like a vacation somewhere. And then her mom suggests that she goes to like this house that she knows about. And then when she arrives there, it ends up being our hero's house and he's there. And then they end up spending some time together. I thought it sounded really good. And yeah, I still have it downloaded. But again, it made it to the second page of the Kindle and I kind of forgot about it. So I will get around to it at some point. But yeah, I have that downloaded. Oh my gosh, I have all these. I literally, y'all, I'm telling you, I do not even remember having half of these downloaded. Next up, I have If There's a Way by Jessie Walker, which actually now I own the physical book, so maybe I'll read it physically, maybe I won't, we'll see. It is a thick boy, so honestly maybe I won't because I don't like reading thick books because they're just annoying to hold. But this is the second book in the, what's it called? I don't know, but Where There's a Will was in my top 10. If you watched my top 10 video of 2023, it was in my top 10. It's the first book in this duet following Will and Way. And it just absolutely and utterly wrecked me and touched me and destroyed me and built me back up. I loved everything about that first book. And it does end on a little bit of a cliffhanger. And then this is book 2. Here's the thing though, because I was so ready to jump back into this second book and see them get their happily ever after, because if there are 2 characters that need it and deserve it, it's these 2. However, I also know how heavy that first book is, and I just have not been in the mood for something that heavy. Yes, I'm obviously very excited to read this. I'm very excited to see how these 2 end up, but I just need to be in the right space to like go through everything that these 2 will inevitably have to go through. And I just needed a little bit of a moment. But I will for sure be finishing this book. I'd say within the next like month or 2. As soon as I'm feeling like that pull towards that really like dark, gritty place, this will be the next book that I pick up for that. Then I have 3 out of the same series downloaded. So Kristen Becker Ritchie put the Like Us series on Kindle Unlimited. And I actually think they put the Addicted series on Kindle Unlimited as well. But I've already obviously read all the Addicted to You books. However, the Like Us series, I downloaded 3 books in that. So I have Headstrong Like Us, which is Mafia and Pharaoh's book. It's book number 6. That's the next one that I need to read. I do own this one physically, so I probably will end up reading it physically, but I downloaded it on KU just because I was like excited to see it on KU. And then let me expand this because I did download 2 more in the series and I can't remember what they're called. Then I downloaded Wild Like Us and Fearless Like Us, which are books 8 and 9. So you might be like, McKay, you're skipping number 7. I am, at least for right now. So the 7th book is Charming Like Us, and it doesn't involve any of the kids, and it involves like the producer of the show or something and one of the bodyguards, and I just like don't really care about them at all, straight up. I definitely think at some point I will read their book. I own it physically, and there will be a point where I read it. However, I am just really excited to get to Sully, and it's 2 of the bodyguards. It's the twin brother from Thatcher. I can't remember what his name is. And then it's one of the other bodyguards who's like the boss, right? And it's like an MFM romance that Wild Like Us and Fearless Like Us is. And Sully is Reich and Daisy's daughter, which I'm excited because like we haven't gotten any of their kids yet, and at least that I've read in the Like Us series. So I did download both of those, and I don't own those ones physically yet. So I probably will for sure read those in Kindle Unlimited. But yeah, I do have those downloaded, and I love that series, and that again is one that I want to finish this year because like I said, I'm obviously very far behind in it, and I do want to finish them. Then I have By Fate I Conquer by Cora Riley downloaded on here. So this one is the 4th book in the Sins of the Father series. So this one is the one that I have been most excited for in it because it is Arya and Luca's son from the Born in Blood Chronicles, and it is Remo and Seraphina's daughter from the Kimura Chronicles. And those are like 2 of my favorites with their kids. I'm looking forward to seeing them interact, looking forward to seeing any bits of them that I can get. As far as the premise goes for this one though, like I don't really know. I don't know if it's an arranged marriage or if it's like enemies to lovers. I don't really know how it all fits into it, but I don't really care. I'm just excited for it. And especially after reading book 3, which was, what was that one called? It wasn't By Virtue I Fall. Whatever the 3rd one was that I just read that had Dante and Valentina's daughter, and it was her bodyguard. I loved that one. That kind of like resurrected the series for me. So I'm very excited to read this 4th one. But again, I downloaded it and just forgot about it. Okay, do I have any more Kindle books downloaded? I'm scrolling down here. Maybe I don't. Maybe that's it. Because like I said, I don't really ever hit the limit because I do tend to like swap them out pretty quickly. Yeah, I don't think I have any more Kindle books. It's all otherwise my like unread ebooks, which actually I have a lot of unread ebooks. You know, like sometimes when they're free, or I have a lot of fan fictions downloaded that I have not read yet. So anyways, that is all of the books that I currently have on my Kindle downloaded right now for me to read. That's not the full scale of my Kindle Unlimited TBR because that would be an entirely separate video. Because if I tried to count how many books on Kindle Unlimited that I have on my TBR, that would be like hundreds and hundreds of books. But at least right now, these are my priorities. And yeah, and in case if anyone is curious, I got my case off of an Etsy shop years and years ago. You can see the wear and tear. This did not used to be like worn down, same with the edges, but I personally love this. I know so many people love the clear cases with the stickers, and I do love that, and I think that's really cute, and I would love to have that, but I love having the flap to like close over it because like I don't know if you can see how like scratched this is, and I'm like, would that be my screen? Because I throw this in like my bags a lot when I'm out traveling or something, that I just go places with my Kindle a lot, and then I'm like, what would my screen look like if I didn't have this cover on it? So I really like the flap. So when I get a new Kindle, I think I'll see like if there is a clear case with a flap, honestly, because I really like that. So that is it for today's video. I think on Friday, I'm finally going to have my tier ranking by spice video. I already have done one of those in the past, and y'all love the tier ranking videos. I love doing them, but obviously now I'm not really going to like tier rank my books that I'm reading because y'all know that kind of puts me in a weird space. But I can tier rank by spice. That's fair. That's fair game, because even books that have like low to no spice, sometimes I still like the spice doesn't like dictate whether it's a good book or not. So I'm going to be having that up on Friday, I think. But anyways, yeah, that is it for today's video, and I will see you when I see ya.